What is up, guys? Flashfire here, and today I am bringing you the final of the Pokemon Fight Club. This is the Hampshire Hawluchas versus the New Orleans Pelippers in the final. Me versus John, aka Pokémon, whose channel will be linked down below. I'm sure you guys have seen John before on the channel, but if you haven't, absolutely go and check him out. He's a fantastic battler. Obviously, he's in the final and a great guy, so you should do that. But yeah, this is, as I said, the final of the Pokemon Fight Club. I really didn't think I was going to get here, but here we are. And this is a very scary match for me. Some of you will remember, John and I have encountered each other before in the regular season, but we kind of messed about and didn't actually do a proper battle. So we haven't properly encountered each other with the threats that our teams can bring and all of this kind of stuff before. So this was a very interesting match to prepare for me. Something that I noticed about John's team was that if I could weaken the tank growth slightly, well, just John's draft in general, a lot of the stuff, if I could weaken the tank growth slightly, maybe get the Honchkrow to switch into rocks once already, then Lychee Berry and Endure Hitmonlee completely sweeps him, outside of obviously Fake Out on the Lopunny, because Hitmonlee's priority outspeeds all of his priority mons and kills everything. So we've got that right there. We've brought the Choice Specs Boom Burst on legs. It's second up because it just wrecks everything. As you can see, John has no, well, he has one steel type, but it takes like 80% from Boom Burst, so he basically has no steel types. And this thing is going to hit like a truck and do loads of damage, which is amazing pretty much every time it comes in. We have Excadrill right there, which is just there to kind of set rocks and spin. That's pretty much it. Obviously, Ironhead is there to put pressure on the Florges, and Earthquake hits everything else for decent coverage, so that's good. And then we have the real MVP right here, the real MVP of this match, Cisco. Arcanine puts in so much work in this battle. It's Rocky Helmet defensive set with Flamethrower and Extreme Speed, and it basically just checks so many of his mons. It checks the Florges, Lopunny, Tangrowth, and Honchkrow, and so many other mons on his draft. So Cisco is fantastic in this matchup, and I just, it's so cool. And then next up we have the Choice Banded Sizzle right there. As you can see, it will be doing a lot of work against John's team. I believe U-Turn does over 50% to Tangrowth, Pursuit straight up KOs Starmie, and Bullet Punch does ridiculous amounts of damage to everything else that isn't a Bisharp, but we have Superpower for that, so that's cool. And then we have the Lantern there, just because there are a couple of things on John's draft that it checked really nicely, the Starmie being one of them, the Honchkrow being another. It's just kind of there to get in the way and be a soft check to stuff. As you can see, the Lati didn't come this week, and the way that the battle turned out, I probably could have brought the Lati instead of the Lantern, possibly. The Lantern didn't really end up doing that much, but you'll see what I mean in a sec. So we are going to hit play right now and see how this battle goes. So what happened was he led off with Michelle Tyson, which I predicted, and led off with Cisco. Now, turn one, John is a good battler. I expected him to not think he could take on this Arcanine right here, so I definitely considered doubling out. I was wondering whether he was going to go into possibly the Starmie or the Tangrowth or the Florges. I was considering doubling into Scizor. I stayed in though because I didn't want to make a prediction turn one, and it ended up paying off. He fakes out my Arcanine right here and takes some Rocky Helmet damage, which is awesome for me. So this next turn right here, I believe we just go for a Will-O-Wisp. Obviously if he stays in, oh no, we switch. We switch into the Scizor, I think predicting the Starmie or the Florges, not this guy. As it turns out though, we are Jolly Scizor, so we're going to outspeed this guy no matter what EV spread he's running, and we're just going to hit him up with that banded U-turn real quick. And go out into Arcanine, which as I said, completely checks this guy. There's nothing Tangrowth can do to the Arcanine, which is awesome. So we're just going to fire off Flamethrower right here into the Starmie, do like 2 damage, and obviously we're forced out here. So we are going to go into our Mist, which is like the perfect Starmie check, and he predicts me obviously because Mist is the only thing I could feasibly switch into against the Starmie. We're going to go into Boombox right here. Now, something I regret in this game is that I played far too conservatively. There are a number of places where I could have made the prediction and put a lot of pressure on John, but I didn't. I made the safe play, and it kind of cost me quite a lot, because John was playing quite safely as well. And yeah, I guess I just didn't have the conviction during the game to go, right, I need to do this because it's going to put me in a good position. I was like, I could do this, but then if he does the and just made the safe play every time. And that kind of brought it down. But anyway, we're going to get into Boomburst right here. I keep calling it Boomburst, it's not, you know what it is, it's the next part. Boomburst is going to do a ridiculous amount of damage to everything, except for this Florges, which is Calm, Max Special Defense, which means normally a Boomburst would do about 45% to it, so, slightly less than 45%, plus Florges is faster, plus he has Protect. So I'm going to switch into Excadrill right here, put the pressure on him. Now here, I expected him to go for I think I expected him to switch into Tangrowth here. That's exactly what happened. And I wanted to go into Boombox to put pressure on him again with the Boom Burst. However, he does just stay in and protect to scout what I'm going to do, possibly thinking that I'm Choice Scarf. And as you can see, it doesn't end up going very well for me. I do manage to get a Toxic on this thing. We are Choice Specs with Toxic because the coverage slots on X-Lad are basically worthless. Obviously, he is going to have the Heal Bell, but it's nice for me to find out if he has that or not. And it's going to force him to go for it this turn, more or less. So we're going to pull a switch back out into Dwayne right here. And we're going to predict the Protect and get our rocks up for free, which is awesome. It's going to be doing nice chip damage to that Honchkrow. There's every chance that it's possibly like a Sash Bishop or some kind of shenanigans. So getting the rocks up is good. Earthquake does nothing to Tangrowth. We know this. So we're going to pull the switch out into the check. This thing literally checks half of John's team. It's ridiculous. More than half, in fact. So right here, I predicted the Starmie to come in. I go into Scizor because I know I can Pursuit Trap him. Unfortunately, John sees what I'm doing and stays in and goes for a Scald here instead of switching out. Which is unfortunate for me, but we do get to take out the Starmie, which means that rocks are going to stay out for the rest of the game, which is pretty cool. Obviously, he worked out I'm banded from the damage I did against his Tangrowth, and he's going to bring in his Bishop right here. Now, I thought there was every chance this guy was going to be Choice Scarf. And with that in mind, I believe I switch here into Dwayne. And we're just going to find out if he is Choice Scarf, because Dwayne really isn't that useful against my opponent's team. Puts a bit of pressure on the Florges, but because he's not specially defensive, Moonblast will 2 or 3 hit KO him, so it's not really that important against the Florges. We have our rocks up, we've gotten rid of his spinner, he can't set rocks. So Dwayne has more or less outlived his usefulness. We're going to use him right here to see if this Bishop is Scarf, and it turns out that he is. He's going to go for a knockoff right here, outspeed me and take me out. So I'm going to go into Hitmonlee right here. Obviously, we're going to scare him out with the Mach Punch. I do end up going for it here. I definitely should have gone for a knockoff in this position. We would have got rid of the Assault Vest on the Tangrowth a bit early, but hey, like I said, I kept making safe plays instead of making actual plays. So we're going to go into Arcanine because we know it's the counter to this guy. I believe he goes for an HP Fire, which does nothing, thankfully. And this is going to give us a chance, I do believe, to get a Morning Sun up. We're going to get some healths back, which is lovely. And this is the section of the battle where we have a lovely, lovely stall war between Arcanine and Florges. Basically, this is just John trying to run me out of Morning Suns and me trying to run him out of Heal Bells, because I want to get a burn or a Toxic on him after he's run out of Heal Bells. That's the plan anyways. But I did say this was a stall wall right there, that turn. I was like, ooh, if he doesn't protect, I can 2-hit KO him. Forgetting that he just wished, so I stayed in and Boom Bursted and let him Moonblast me. It's so dumb. But basically, this floor just causes huge problems for me in the same way that my Arcanine causes huge problems for him. The only issue being, Morning Sun has 8 PP and Wish has 16. So if it's just a full-out stall war between Arcanine and Florges, then Florges wins every time, which is kind of annoying. So right here, obviously I'm banded Scizor, and in this situation it would actually be better for me not to be banded because, you know, I could predict around what he's going to switch into. Unfortunately, I do have to show him what I'm going to do the turn before I do it every time because he has the Protect to scout for my Bullet Punch. So we're going to go straight into Arcanine right here, check this guy. And I do believe he goes for Poison Jab. This is John fishing for the poison. I'm not sure why he's running the Poison Jab. I think I have Rotom-Mow on my draft, so that's possibly it. But we're just going to go for a Flamethrower right here. And do like nothing to this Florges. But like I said, trying to run him out of Heal Bells and trying to waste his Wish and Protect PP. Because really, there's nothing I can do to this Florges, man. Every time I want to go into Scizor, I run the risk of taking about 25% from Moonblast, and also he can just scout what I'm doing and switch out. So here, like I said, 26% from Moonblast, and we have to reveal our play to the Protect. So this is a real struggle for me, getting past this Florges, as you may notice. A real struggle. So we're just going to go into Cisco right here, and he's going to make a play and go into Bishop, possibly hoping that he would get the Intimidate and the Defiant boost, but because my Mon was faster than his, I switched out first, intimidated his Mon before he switched out. So that worked out well for me. I don't believe I stay in right here, and he doesn't stay in either. I do stay in here and go for Will-O-Wisp. Wow, I completely forgot that. I've literally just had this battle, guys. I don't know why. I don't remember what any of this is. I guess it was a 70-turn battle, so there is that. But yeah, we're back to this Arcanine Florges Stall War. We've really got to get out of this at some point. I do, in a couple of turns, I think I make a play. And I'm not sure if that play really affected the game, but it would have given me a lot of wall-breaking power. At this point in the game. I was about to say early game, but we're turn 40. This is mid-game. So we're going to go into Mist right here just because I didn't want to keep wasting the PP on Morning Sun, and we're just going to get Volt Switch off right here. Go into the Hitmonlee, and this is the play I was talking about. I know he's going to go for Protect this turn to Scout, so I'm going to go for a knockoff. The play here is I'm trying to bait him into Moonblasting my Hitmonlee so I can Endure, get my Lychee Berry boost, and then OHKO him with Reversal the next turn. Unfortunately, John is not as dumb as he looks, and he's going to switch into the Tangrowth on my Endure this turn. Does not let me bait him, and I'm sad about it. So we're just going to go back into Arcanine, and the shenanigans begin again. We're back in this position, and now I've revealed my Hitmonlee set, so he knows what to expect. Yeah, we're just going to go for a Will-O-Wisp right here. Like I said, we're continuing to whittle away at PP. That's where this battle is right now, and it's so freaking painful. Like, there's a burst of activity at the start and a burst of activity at the end, but in the middle, it's just awful, because it's this. So, yeah, I realize at this point that he's specially defensive and Extreme Speed will do slightly more, but again, Extreme Speed only has 8 PP, so it doesn't really make that much difference. We're gonna keep putting status on him. Oh man, this is longer than I remember it being, and I've only just done it. Oh my god. Okay, so I believe at some point here I'm going to switch into Lantern, just to try and alleviate the pressure on my Morning Sun PP. I believe it's here, actually. And yeah, like I said at the start, Lantern doesn't really do much this game. I just end up kind of leaving it here and trying to be a nuisance, but not really succeeding. Because obviously I get a special attack drop and it's max special defensive Florges, so we're doing like 4 damage every time. I do believe we just snag a couple of Skull Burns like right here though, which is pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, basically my aim here was to end up Thunder Waving him, because then it kind of disrupts his recovery quite a lot, because there's a chance that he won't get a Protect or he won't get a Wish off, and so on. But he is going to go into this guy right here. And what I planned here was for me to be slower than him and to get a slow Volt Switch off so that I could go into X-Cloud and put some offensive pressure on him. Unfortunately, I end up being faster, which I wasn't expecting. So we're going to end up going into Arcanine instead, making the defensive play rather than the offensive one, because Poison Jab probably, well, he's burned, so it probably wouldn't have, but there was a chance he could do a lot of damage to my X-Cloud, and I didn't want that. As you can see though, he still hasn't gotten the poison from the Poison Jab, which I'm super happy about. Now, if that had crit, that might have killed the Florges. Oh, crazy. But we're just going to go into Scizor right here, because I know he has to Protect this turn, and the Bullet Punch shenanigans begin again, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we do 0 damage to this Bishop right here with the Bullet Punch. And we are going to switch out because I believe Scizor's going to be useful in the future. And I'm just going to sack off Lantern right here. Let it go down, doesn't matter, as we can go into Hitmonlee, and again, I make a very conservative play. I put a lot of consideration into going for knockoff this turn, and I believe I still went for Mach Punch, which is just silly and just not worth it at all, really. But here, you'll see, John will finally get the poison he's been looking for, and that's both good and bad for me, because it's going to put my Hitmonlee into Lychee Berry range without me having to go for Endure, but at the same time, it puts a timer on Hitmonlee, and that is going to be huge this battle, as we'll see in a little bit. So right here, obviously, Hitmonlee is a huge win con for me. It's my only way to kill the Bishop without getting Sucker Punched and dying, outside of Arcanine. It's also quite important in taking out the Honchkrow, although Arcanine can do that job. So Hitmonlee is definitely a win condition for me. I definitely need to preserve it right here. So we're going to switch out. We're going to go into Arcanine and Intimidate him. As he goes to the Fake Out, does 13%. Now right here, I figured I'd just extreme speed him. I thought he might switch into the Florges, and at the range the Florges is at the moment, I believe it's a 53%. Extreme speed's a 2-hit KO, so I was like, yes, now's my chance, I'm going to kill it. Go for the extreme speed here, do 23%, which is important, you'll see why. He goes for the return right here, which tells me that he's not running high jump kick, because he would have gone for it for maximum damage output if he did have it. He knows my 4 moves, he knows I don't have protect. Return does 30%. Which means that I 100% of the time live any hit he wants to go for next turn. I can Morning Sun, be at a decent amount of HP, extreme speed him later, rather than having to extreme speed him now and kill him. Extreme speed would kill him from this range, but then Arcanine would be useless against the Honchkrow because it wouldn't be able to wouldn't be able to survive any hits. So I had to go for the Morning Sun here for Arcanine to continue to be useful, and it does continue to be useful for the rest of the match. It still checks the Bishop, the Florges, and the Honchkrow, his 3 remaining Pokemon. So I go for the Morning Sun right here, and he crits the Drain Punch, which ignores the Intimidate, and does extra damage on top of that. So Arcanine goes down, which is huge. Like I said, it checks his 3 remaining Mons. It would have been so huge to have that thing around. But as it is, we're forced to go into Hitmonlee right here. We're going to go for a Mach Punch, take out this guy, and get our Lychee Berry boost. But unfortunately, because of the way the poison is, I can only live 2 more turns. And I know this Florges has Protect. So what I have to do right here is switch out. I have to switch out, even though I've got the attack boost and all of that fun stuff. I have to switch here. I have to go into my Sizzle. I have to make this, or the X-Cloud even. I should have gone into Sizzle. I don't know why I didn't. And we're just going to go for a Boom Bust right here because he's in kill range, which is great. What I should have done here is gone into Sizzle. Now, what I should have done here... Oh, I don't know if this guy was choiced... Oh, no, he was Life Orb. Never mind. But I believe the play... Well, is it... I don't know. I was thinking about this, and I'm not sure. It depends on how fast the Honchkrow is. But it's possible the play I should have made here was to go... straight to, well, no, I don't think there was a way I could have won from this position because of Arcanine going down. Never mind. So we're going to go for a Boom Bust right here as he Sucker Punches me, gets the Moxie boost, and we're going to go into Sizzle. I guess the only way it could have been is if I'd hard switched to Sizzle there and I lived a Sucker Punch, but I don't think I would have. So we're going to go for Bullet Punch, obviously, but Sucker Punch outspeeds, it's going to kill me. The Honchkrow here, now John knows he's going to win in 2 turns. So literally all he has to do is click Sucker Punch twice, and he's guaranteed to win. So Hitmonlee's going to take him out with 2 hits. Sucker Punch fails, obviously. Going to kill him with the Mach Punch, but unfortunately the Bishop is still there, and that is going to be game. John, well played, buddy. I know you don't control the crits, but I'm still pretty salty about that. Like, that game was super, super close. It came down to 1 mono 50%, even with that huge crit. So, like... I mean, there's every chance that it could have just been another, like, 20 turns of stalling, but it might have been a much closer battle if Arcanine had survived. Unfortunately, that's a lot of ifs and buts, and it didn't happen, so I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just going to say congratulations, John. Well done for winning the Pokemon Fight Club, taking the New Orleans Pelippers to the title. And we're an unfortunate runner-up, so hopefully next time we enter one of these competitions, we can pull it out of the bag in the final and take that W. But for now, the Hampshire Hawluchas are going to have to do... Well, second is going to have to do for the Hampshire Hawluchas. So, thank you guys for watching, thank you for your support throughout the season, and we will see you next time.